Hello, everyone. Thank you for stopping by and visiting with us. Today, I would like to share with you how I got involved with acting and also talk to you about the importance of us opening ourselves up to receive God's blessings. Now, me and my husband live in Ohio, but prior to moving here, we lived in Southern California, and Hollywood was practically in our backyard. It wasn't until we moved here that I was waiting around for work and I started taking acting workshops. I figured it was a way for me to build self-confidence, and it seemed like a fun thing to do. Now, one of my acting coaches at the time referred me to a talent agent in Covington, Kentucky. And he ended up calling me one day and he said, I am looking to expand our roster and I want to know if you would be interested in coming down and auditioning for me. So I figured it might be something fun to do and, maybe I'd meet some interesting people. So I went down, um, and even though it was a little bit of a drive for me, I decided just go ahead and go. God is laying this blessing on your lap, so go and see what happens. So I drove all the way down there, and I auditioned for him, and he liked me, and he signed me to a contract that same day. So he started sending me to open auditions. And one day he called me up and he said, Grace, they are doing a television commercial in Cincinnati and they are having open auditions. And there's a part in this commercial that I think you would be very good for. So I want you to go. And I thought, well, okay. And I didn't have a lot of experience going to open auditions or anything like that because I was still relatively new to all that work. But I have since been with my agent for over 8 years, and I've done many commercials, some of them national, some of them local, and I want to show you something. I'm a little bit big on props, right? You've seen me use props in other videos. Well, I just want to show you something, okay? That is me right there. And this was a print ad that I did a couple years ago for this agency. So when he told me about this commercial in Cincinnati, he said, make sure you go because they were only auditioning on 2 days, Friday and Saturday. And I was going on Saturday, the last possible day to go. So I drove down to Cincinnati, and when I got there, the place was packed. And they had rented the whole ground floor of a hotel in Cincinnati. So when I walked in, the first thing they did was gave me a number and they said, take a seat. And when they call your number, they'll direct you to where you need to go. So I ended up waiting about an hour, maybe even an hour and a half, until they finally called me. And they escorted me and a group of maybe 10 or 12 people into this side room. And that's the way they were doing it because so many people showed up. They were calling in large groups of people into a side room. And so when we went into this room, the people that were involved with the making of the commercial were all there. And they had us sit on bar stools, kind of in a line. And they said to us, now this is the scene. It's Friday evening. You are at a La Rosa's pizza restaurant. Well, not pizza restaurant, but a restaurant. They are a local chain, and I think they even go all the way to Kentucky, but I'm not sure. So they said, it's Friday evening. You're with your family, and you're having a good time enjoying some good food. They said, we want to see a lot of smiles, a lot of animated talk, and we want to see you looking happy. So there we are, all of us lined up on these bar stools, sitting down, and we start chatty Cathing with each other, like, and it's all like fake conversations, like, oh yeah, yeah, this food's delicious. Oh my goodness, And they didn't really care about what conversation was going on between us because they mostly wanted to see what kind of chemistry we had with each other. So when that was over, they kind of basically said, thank you for coming. Don't call us, we'll call you, that kind of stuff. So they took us back out of the room, and I noticed that some people, as they were exiting the room, they were being called to the side. Now, I didn't know what that was all about, but I was one of the last people to exit the room. And when I went out, someone touched me on the arm in the hallway. And they said, will you step to the side? And I thought, oh, what did I do? Did I not smile enough? I thought I was in trouble, okay. Um, so those people that filed out that did not get pulled to the side, you could tell there was a look of disappointment in their faces, especially the little children. Some of them were crying because they knew more than likely they had not been chosen to go to the next level, to come out in the commercial. So everyone that was pulled to the side was asked to step back into the room that we had just come out of. And they said, congratulations, all of you here have been chosen to come out in the La Rosa's commercial. And I was so surprised and thankful, okay, because I didn't have a lot of experience. I showed up on the very last day, kind of like the 12th hour. And here, I was one of the ones that was chosen to come out in the commercial. And Friday, they also had a group of people that they had chosen from that whole group that showed up. And let me tell you, if I say there was a couple hundred people there on the Saturday that I showed up, there was probably a lot more than that because the place was packed. It seems all of Cincinnati was there. Young, old, men, women, children, they were all there. That's what it seemed like. They were all wanting to get famous, except me. I did not care about getting famous. I was mostly there for the experience and to have some fun. Um, but you see, if I had not accepted the gift that God laid on my lap initially when the talent agent called me, if I had not opened myself up to receive that blessing, none of this would have happened. But because I did open myself up, I have since been blessed with many, many more commercials. And and other things not related to commercials. So I want to say to you, it is very important for us to open ourselves up so we in turn can be blessed by God, so He can bless us with His blessings. But what happens? Life happens, right? Sometimes life deals hardly, that's not a word, harshly with us. Um, and life hurts us. People hurt us, right? And when that happens, sometimes some of us tend to close ourselves up and maybe lose faith and lose self confidence. And we close ourselves up so tightly that God might be trying to get through to us to deliver a blessing. But because we're like this, the blessings are getting through to us. So we have to learn, despite what happens in our life, pain, hardship, whatever happens with us, we have to learn to open ourselves up so God can deliver the blessings to you. Like I said, sometimes life treats us hard. And sometimes, for example, we might be looking for work, a job. We go to a job interview that we feel we are very qualified for, and we think to ourselves, this one's mine. And what happens? You do not get called. The job goes to somebody else, and you close yourselves up and you think, well, maybe God doesn't love me. You start to lose faith in God. But listen, maybe that job that you went to interview for, that you said, this is mine, maybe that blessing, that job was not meant to be for you, but it was meant to bless somebody else, okay? Or we are in a relationship that we hope will go to the next level. What happens? Life happens. Sometimes people disappoint us, and that one person that you love so much, instead of doing the right thing, they put their running shoes on, and what do? Hasta la vista, baby. They take off on you. And what happens? We get hurt. We get crushed inside. We close ourselves up. And we don't allow God to reach us and deliver blessings to us. We might start to doubt God, lose our faith. We must never do that, okay? Because maybe that one person that you were pinning your hopes on, that you love so much, maybe that person was never meant to be in your life for that purpose. Okay? Only God knows what is best for us. He's like a loving father, okay? He wants nothing better than to protect us and to keep us from harm. And so sometimes when we ask Him for things and we don't hear back from Him, or those things don't materialize, and what happens? There we go, closing ourselves up. And God might be trying to get through, and you don't let God's blessings get to you. So don't do that, sweetie. Don't lose hope, especially don't doubt God, okay? Because maybe those things you were asking for are not something that is going to be beneficial for you. Only God knows what's best for us, okay? And when He does bless you, you need to learn that if God blesses you, it's so you can bless someone in return. Okay, He does not bless you so that you can become a hoarder and hoard the blessings. He blesses you so you in turn can be a blessing for somebody else. So you can sow seeds into somebody else. Okay? And if you do that, God is going to deliver a lot more blessings upon your lap. We just have to remember, if He blesses you, bless someone in return. Okay? And if He does bless you with something, don't keep it to yourself. Don't keep the good news to yourself. Share with others what God has done for you, the wonderful things that God has done for you. Shout it from the rooftops, okay, the mountaintops. Tell somebody, this is what God has done for me, all right? I have been known to share my good news with many strangers. Some of them sometimes look at me like, this woman is, but I don't care. I have to tell others what a wonderful God I have and what wonderful things He has done for me. Don't forget, don't ever get so caught up in the busyness of life, right? We spin around trying to do things in life. We get so busy, the busyness of life, that we forget about God. We put Him off to the side and say, here, God, Jesus Christ, you wait here for me, I'll be back when I need you. So don't get so caught up in the busyness of life that you end up straying from God, okay? And if you have not already done so, I hope that you visit us on Facebook, visit us on our YouTube channel, Amazing Grace Empowerment Ministries, Inc. And if you do visit us on our website, consider making a little tiny donation toward our mustard seed homeless ministry. And that is one way you can sow into somebody else, all right? And if you go to our Facebook page, leave me a message. Say, hey, Miss Grace, it's me from YouTube. I love to hear from you guys. And some of you have left so many wonderful comments on the YouTube channel. They just make me feel so good inside. And what else? I think I said enough, okay? I hope you have gotten something positive out of this little video, all right? It's nothing fancy about my videos. They're just small videos, me here sharing what I share. The whole point of me starting the YouTube channel was I wanted a platform to share the homeless stories, to share the stories of individuals that have come to me and shared their stories with me, how they came out of difficult times and how God helped them. And sometimes I like to share my testimonies with you too. Listen, YouTube can be a wonderful tool to use if it's used in the right manner and for the right things. Okay. Look at how many people you can touch all over the world. And if you do that, you'll be sharing God's message everywhere to all corners of the world, okay? So use YouTube for good and positive things, okay? Okay. I think I said quite a bit, all right. Lastly, I like to always leave you with something positive. Um, Come back and visit with us. I try and post something once a week. So come back and visit us. Share our little videos. Share your testimony with others. Sow into other people's lives if God has blessed you with something. But more importantly, above anything else that I've chattered about right now, I want you to know God loves you very, very much, okay? Don't ever forget that. Don't ever, ever let Satan make you doubt God, all right? Because God loves you very much. So much so, what did he do for us? Right? He died on the cross for us. That truly is love that you will never find here on earth. And I hope one day, this is my goal in life, I want to be able to sit at that banquet table. And I hope with all my heart that I'll be able to sit next to you at the banquet table, okay? But make sure you pass the butter, all right? Because I like butter on my bread. So if we're at the same table, all right? Pass that butter. All right, sweetie. Bye-bye. Come back and see us again, all right?